Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Hey, good morning, folks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat.
Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are.
There it is, team. Morning. Morning, wherever you're tuning in from today.
Early bird gets the worm, they say. Here at Positive, we offer a 6-star team. It's a team that help you at every stage of your wealth creation journey.
All right, there it is, team. Early bird gets the worm, as Mr. Witten says. Good morning. Hope you're all well today, Wednesday, 29th of October. The time is flying. I don't know about you guys, but I keep on track with the calendar, that's for sure. But welcome along to Wealth Coffee Chats. If you are a regular, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. And if it's the first time, listen, on a Wednesday, 9:10 today in Melbourne, down in Melbourne this week, but normally 8:10 for you Queenslanders. Listen, we jump on here on Wealth Coffee Chats on a Wednesday and talk all things property management. It's about you, the investor, delivering some strategies, some foundations for yourself and your portfolio to help you hold that property for a longer period of time. And that's what we do here on a Wednesday. So today's topic is no different to what we've always been doing, team, and a little bit of information, some bullet point things you guys need to know today, in my opinion, for, your own strategy on how you help maintain and hold your property for a long period of time, right? So morning to everyone that's here. Kevin's on, mate, great to see you. Good evening to you over in Florida. So awesome work. Thanks for tuning in as always. And a few other early birds online as well. So today, team, today's conversation, if you were here last week on a Wednesday for Wealth Coffee Chats, you would have heard me talking about the new portable rental bond scheme down here in Victoria. And I might have went on a little bit of a rant or two, but today I thought we'd just extend on that conversation and share some more information in regards to some new rental reforms that are coming into play over the next month down here in Victoria. So if you own an investment property in Victoria, you need to know these things so you can help stay safe. Now, listen, if your property manager isn't making you aware of this, team, write that one down, because you'll need to maybe ChatGPT or Google a little bit later and or listen to this podcast on repeat, and certainly we'll give you the headlines anyway that you need to know. So if anyone's heard about some of the new rental reform changes coming into play across November, very, very shortly on our doorstep, pop it in the chat. Love to hear from you. But listen, team, what the government has been doing over a period of time, and it's not just in Victoria, it's across Australia, for states and territories for that matter, is making a rent-a-fairer policy, if you like, is how I sort of say it. But here in Victoria, what they've actually done is make an amendment that was actually introduced in about, I think, March 2024 last year. Yes, think it was, and it was past this March 2025. So they've been talking about it for a little while. Earlier this year in March, it was passed through government, and now we're starting to see those changes and rental reforms come into play. So the Consumer and Planning Legislation Amendment Bill 2024, that's what I was referring to, the Housing Statement Reform, that has been amended, and it's coming into effect in November. So right on our doorstep, nice and fresh for us to talk about this morning. Caroline's here. Morning. Hope you're well. Hopefully it's nice and sunny down in Tassie for you as well. So thanks for tuning in as always. But team, what are these new rental reforms? Are they significant? Do I need to worry? Well, we're going to talk about this morning, and here's how you keep safe. So one of the first things they proposed and put through was banning rental bidding. Now, I don't know about you, but in Queensland, New South Wales for that matter, this had come into play as well over the last little while, and it's something that was kind of not shouldn't have been in practice anyway. So your property manager shouldn't be encouraging or soliciting. It's not like a live Saturday auction where you put 5 tenants in a room and you just go for gold. That's not what we do. So that has been stamped out. So your property manager today, when you are advertising your property for lease, you must advertise it with a fixed price. You are no longer prohibited to advertise your property with a rental range. So for example, if you were to advertise your property $700 to $750 per week as a range, that is now illegal. It is not okay to do that, and you will be fined. And I'm going to share with you some of the consequences when this goes wrong. So you must advertise with a fixed price. No more rental ranges, team. Fixed price only. The other things your property managers need to do to keep you safe, because I'm telling you, team, it's not just the agencies that can get fined, it's the rental providers, the landlords, the investors, you guys. So you also must be obviously prohibited from encouraging or accepting rent higher than the advertised price. So again, if your property is advertised at $700 per week, you get a couple rental applications, all of a sudden there's unbeknown to you potentially that there's this bidding war, and one of the renters offers you $750 per week. That is no longer encouraged, nor are we able to accept that interest. So if the property is advertised for $700 per week, then that is what we are to accept. If you're wondering how you maximize your rent, there are other ways, but that is not the way to do it, and therefore that has been banned. So no rent bidding. Number 2, extending notice period. So the current landscape says that, hey, you as the landlord, you would like to, provide a notice to vacate to the renter. You would need to provide a minimum 60 days notice. That as of in a few days' time, in a few weeks' time, that is going to move from a 60-day notice period to a 90-day notice period. So 3 months, you need to give that tenant more notice. Obviously, the purpose behind that is to provide the renter with some more time to budget, to plan, which makes sense. Now, I started real estate and property management specifically 15 years ago, almost 15 years ago now. And for those that know, I was brought up in Sydney, and down in Sydney, 90 days has always been the thing. So it's not new, team. It's not new. When I was operating down in Sydney, it was always a 90-day notice for the landlord to provide notice to vacate to the renter. It doesn't really change anything. It's just a legality on the required amount of notice you need to provide. So just be prepared. If you are planning to move back into the property, if you are planning to sell strategically, then these are just some of the things you need to provide 90 days notice, not 60 days anymore. So be prepared. One of the other things as well, banning no-fault evictions. So, you cannot, as of in a few weeks' time, with these new rental reforms, you cannot, team, no longer provide a notice to vacate for just no reason. You can't just, you don't like the tenant, you give them a notice and then they vacate, you re-advertise the property at a higher rate. That's not prohibited. And so, yes, we don't want to conduct that behavior, team. So, yes, don't do that. You can't just put it back on the market in that space. So again, this just comes down to, what's your strategy? How often are you meeting with your property advisor and coach? What's your medium to long-term plan when it comes to holding your asset? Okay, because over a period of time, nearly 15 years, as I said, I've seen a lot of clients, it goes well, strategy goes well for 1-2 years, and then something unplanned comes along. And so, yeah, you want to be making sure you've got your strategy in place, team, for sure. Now, minimum standards has, of course, been in play for a little while now, and thankfully for our clients and you guys tuning in here, all your properties meet minimum standards. So we're in the good books, team, so don't worry about that. But Consumer Affairs are watching. Consumer Affairs are monitoring. Consumer Affairs are attending open homes. They are looking at your rental listings online, and they're picking out everyone who is not meeting minimum standards. So if you're buying, if your strategy is to buy a new property, then fantastic. Most of your things are going to meet minimum standards, and we're not going to have to, stress, worry about these things, right? We're going to be kept safe. But hey, maybe you've got a property in your portfolio that is, 15, 20, 30 years old potentially. Maybe you haven't done that renovation yet. They're the properties that are being targeted, and they're the ones you've got to make sure that you are meeting minimum standards to adhere to the rental reforms. Because if not, I'll share with you in a moment how much it's costing landlords out there. Now, Consumer Affairs, Victoria, they have established a rental dispute resolution process. I think that's great. Hopefully we get a bit more traction when it comes to conciliation, resolving disputes, so we don't end up in VCAT, and we can get through, these disputes in a quicker time frame. So that's good. New rental portal bond scheme we mentioned last week. Watch last week's episode and you'll get an idea of that, and blind court compliance. So a lot of compliance things got to stay on top of: smoke alarms, gas and electrical. Gas is getting phased out, obviously, as well, and then blind court compliance. So, things, we can't have dangling chains, right? Things like that. Things need to be. Again, it's not new, team. Is it a significantly more cost or investment for you as a landlord? No, not necessarily. Nothing much will change in that respect. So we just need to be very aware of how we advertise properties. No more rent ranges, fixed prices. We're not we're not soliciting or encouraging any prices above the listed fixed price, because that's not on. Because here's the deal. Consumer Affairs are monitoring this, team. They are out and about, and they are in force. They started this campaign in about March or April 2024. So they've been going about 18 months now. Now, don't have the latest stats over the last 3-4 months, but in the first 12 months of them policing these new rental reforms into play, they have issued at least one fine per week, right? One fine per week, and have received over, at a minimum, at least one complaint, if not more, a day from renters in regards to properties not meeting minimum standards, rental bidding, all the things we just mentioned that we said, hey, we're not going to do that because that doesn't keep us safe. Now, they've issued, like I say, on average, one fine per week. Now they're up to about 70 fines, might be a little bit more now over the last quarter. But those 70 fines, I was reading this article, those 70 fines that they have issued to rental agents and rental providers, landlords, you guys out there, is over $600,000 in fines. That's mind-blowing to me. That's not keeping anyone safe, that's for sure. And I dare say, if those fines have come across some of those agencies or those businesses or landlords, it's going to have a financial burden, and it's going to create some strain on there, and potentially might have caused some landlords to sell, and their strategy doesn't work out. So we're not going to be in that position. We're not going to put anyone in that position, team. And so that's my point I want to make today. You want to keep safe in these things. So sometimes these rental reforms may have an impact, and for the most part they won't, but certainly keeping aware of what's happening in the marketplace, what legislation is doing, is super critical to your ability to help you hold that real estate for a longer period of time. And then, you get the growth along with it. So that's what your property manager should be doing today and over the coming weeks and into the future, because legislation and compliance will get tougher, team. And so, again, doesn't mean you shouldn't invest. You absolutely should. You've just got to navigate these things in a strategic way, have some right frameworks in place, and you'll be kept safe, and you'll get on with your journey. So that's it today. One more thing I did forget to mention. It's fantastic. In New South Wales, there has been CPD, continuing professional development, for a number of years, ever since I did it anyway. So that's all I've ever known. But in Queensland, that got introduced, as we spoke about a few months ago. I believe I read that down in Victoria in 2026, 2027, they'll stagger that continuing professional development to agencies too, which is fantastic. All agents should be upskilled, which is great for you guys. The more skilled your property managers are, the better your investment's going to go. So that's it for today, 29th of October. I'm going to sign out in a moment. Any questions in the chat, guys? I'm happy to get back to you. And of course, as any topics come along, any challenges you've got, pop it in the chat. You can also shoot me an email, and we'll certainly would love to unpack that and uncover it together. So email below. Don't forget tomorrow, 8:10, 9 local time, wherever you might be, New South Wales, Queensland, or Victoria for that matter, then there's a financial planning team. We'll be back for Wealth Coffee Chats, another edition, and we look forward to hosting you guys then. So in the meantime, bye for now.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.